Good evening, I'm Perry Russum. Tonight we sit down with Andy Swab, Chair of the Academic Affairs Committee, to discuss SA's recent resolution to endorse the proposed changes to the Maxwell School. What changes could you see in the near future? And later, SA President John Barnhart will respond to your comments and questions about the latest issues affecting SU students. Welcome to SA Today on the Orange Television Network. Joining us. We begin tonight with SA President John Barnhart, who has the latest news from your student government. John, what's the latest?
Thanks, Perry. Great to be back, guys. Hope everybody had an awesome weekend and enjoyed watching our Orange football dominate South Florida. Good to have them home this weekend for the big homecoming game. But let's get right into what's going on. I know it's October, but guess what? Student Association's already planning for Mayfest 2011. We hope you guys are ready because we're looking for student input on the event this year. We're going over a couple logistics to make sure that we can make it just as good, if not better, than last year's event. So if you've got input, please make sure you're sending it our way and showing up to the various input meetings we'll be holding around campus. Again, I know it's only October, but we know everybody's already thinking about Mayfest, right? Okay, let's get on then. The next thing we're working on is we took a tour last week of Haven's empty dining hall to see what we might be able to do with that open space. Myself, as well as our Student Life Chair, Neil Casey, and our Student Engagement Chair, David Woody, looked around with the Residence Hall Association to see what might be able to put in there for better student use. We're thinking about study space, maybe some open casual space. Either way, we'd really like you guys to let us know what you might see. It's a very big open space, so please, we got plenty of ideas. Throw them out at us and we'll see what we can do with that. For those of you student organizations watching, thanks for turning in your budgets on time on Friday. Just to let you know, the budget deliberations are going to be October 23rd and 24th. That's when you need to show up and talk to the finance board about your event. We'll be posting the times for those soon. And also just to let you know that November 8th will be when the Assembly debates and finalizes the budgets. And then of course, your appeals will be due November 12th by 3 p.m. in the Student Association office. We'll keep you guys updated on this via email, so make sure you're checking it out. Of course, this is Orange Central Week, so I hope everybody's excited. Lots of great events going on, including AutoQuest, SU Idol, and of course, the big football game Saturday. So make sure you're checking it out at homecoming.syr.edu and orangecentral.syr.edu to make sure you're up to date on all the events that are going on. It'll be a great time. Have fun with the alumni. Have fun with other students. Always a blast. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about, though, is this t-shirt that you see me wearing right here. The t-shirt logo says, "You are not alone." These t-shirts came out kind of in response to the events that have been going on for the last 2 weeks regarding the LGBT community around our country. As you guys know, there was an unfortunate suicide at the University of Rutgers, resulting in a student who actually killed himself because of cyberbullying incidents online. Another incident happened at the University of Michigan where the student body president was harassed for being openly gay and pushing for gender-neutral housing on their campus, something SU just recently adopted. I want you guys to know that this is something very important to our campus and that for anybody out there who has any concerns about anything, that you're not alone and to seek out the resources that you might need to help you. That's all I've got for today. Hope you guys have a great week. Back to you, Perry.
And John will be right back to respond to your comments and questions. But first, we'll sit down with Andy Swab to discuss the latest changes coming to the Maxwell School. You're watching SA Today on the Orange Television Network. We'll be right back.
It's Chef, right? Right? That's so gay. That's really gay. Look at those hands.
Please don't say that.
What?
Don't say that something is gay when you mean that something is dumb or stupid. It's insulting. It's like if I thought this pepper shaker was stupid and I said, man, and this pepper shaker is so 16-year-old boy with a cheesy mustache. Just saying. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
How far would you go to help someone? Would you go to the end of your driveway? Would you cross a street? Would you cross an ocean? To a place 6,000 miles from home? And how long would you go? Would you go for a week? A month? A year? Would you go for 2 years? Would you go if you could use your knowledge to teach someone, and in the process, maybe learn something yourself? Life is calling. How far will you go? Peace Corps.
Welcome back. The Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs is consistently ranked as having one of the top programs in public administration and international relations. But now, both College of Arts and Sciences and the Maxwell School have agreed to draft proposals to give the Maxwell School greater independence. I'm joined now by Andy Swab, Chair of Academic Affairs and Committee. Andy, so what exactly does this mean for the future of the Maxwell School?
Well, Perry, it's really great to be here. As you may well know, I used to be a news reporter at Citrus TV. But down to business. What the changes mean is that Student Association will endorse the call by many in the Maxwell School to grant greater autonomy to that school. And what that means is that professors will be able to decide more on issues of tenure, on issues of curricula, and actually we're looking into designing a purely Maxwell undergraduate major.
So that's a new major that could be coming to campus then?
Yeah, we're not sure about a timeline on that, but we want to design a course, and what's been out there in the University Senate has been a course that would mirror Max 123, Max 132, a purely Maxwell program. And those are really great programs out there.
So you said that there is no timeline for this to occur?
The timeline is it's still up for debate. We're really endorsing the greater autonomy first, and then go into more specifics later. But for any class, you need at least 3 years to go through in order for it to pass, in order to have it implemented as an actual Maxwell class.
So for students wondering how this is going to affect the curriculum, who actually initiated this idea for the change?
Well, it started in the University Senate. As you can read throughout campus media, it started because of what people call the white paper, which was designed as a plan to grant greater autonomy to Maxwell so that it wouldn't purely be arts and sciences in the undergraduate program. So the University Senate started it, and we're merely mirroring students' calls for greater autonomy. I've talked to a lot of people around campus who really want to see new majors out there and want to see Maxwell in their diploma when they graduate.
Thanks so much, Andy. Now coming up, John Barnhart will rejoin us to answer your questions. We'll be right back.
Thousands of kids in this country have everything it takes to go to college, except the money. The United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Hello there, folks. I'm Bill Rafter with ESPN and CBS, and whenever I'm in Syracuse, I listen to Citrus TV. I also watch it.
Explore new worlds. Read. Visit literacy.gov and let the journey begin.
We're joined once again by John Barnhart to respond to your comments about Mayfest. We caught up with students around campus to hear what they have to say. Now the first comment comes from a student who has concerns about the Mayfest celebration. Let's take a listen.
I'm a freshman, so it's my first year here, but my sister went here for 4 years, and she told me a lot about Mayfest. She says it's really fun, but she also said that they keep changing things, so I was wondering if it's going to be as fun as it has been in the past few years.
So John, what can we tell students like Michelle who have the same concerns?
Well, I would have to say to Michelle and a lot of the incoming students this year to kind of make the experience their own. Mayfest has really only been around in the way a lot of students know it from the past since 2005. So if you think about it, it's actually really a new event that's changed and shapeshifted over to the last 5 years to adapt to what it became. And then last year we completely flipped it on its head when we moved it to Walnut Park and still had a great time. So for Michelle and all the new students who have heard a lot about the way it's been in the past, I encourage you guys to check out the way it's going to be this year. It could be different from last year, it could be different from the years before, but either way you got to experience it to really understand it. Of course people are going to tell you what they experienced was the best. I catch up with alumni from 1975 who said the event they held in Walnut Park was the best. I don't know if our event that we have nowadays is exactly the same, But I'd have to say they'd probably encourage us to go out and try it anyway.
Okay, now the next question is from a junior whose first Mayfest was last year, and he went to Euclid even though the official celebration was at Walnut Park. Let's hear what he has to say.
Just because, I don't know, I just don't think Walnut was as good of a success as the university thought it was going to be.
Now, for students like Vincent, is the possibility of Mayfest going back to Euclid at all, or is it permanently staying on Walnut Park?
Well, here's the thing. I really don't think Euclid is a viable option anymore. I mean, as you saw, the mayor is very upset about the way Euclid used to be in the past. She campaigned hard on the issue of making sure Mayfest on Euclid was absolutely gone. So we're going to continue to look for new venues to work with. Walnut Park seemed to work pretty well, and Vince, I really wish you could have been there last year with us to enjoy it, especially wearing that t-shirt. But I really got to say, I don't think Euclid's going to be back in the question. Maybe we'll find another venue, but for now, we're sticking with Walnut.
Thanks, John, and thanks for joining us again tonight. Remember, if you want to get involved with SA, you can attend their meetings every Monday at 7:30 p.m. in the Maxwell Auditorium. Be sure to join us right here next Monday after live news for a brand new SA Today. For John Barnhart and the entire SA Cabinet, I'm Perry Russum. Have a great evening.